Sharrod Wellingham is our special guest tonight on One Week at a Time. Thanks for coming in, Sharrod.
Thank you very much for having me.
I guess the big question for Collingwood fans is you've had some recovery the last couple of days. Ben Johnson, Reid, Jolly, how are those three?
All pulled up really well. I was with them this afternoon down at Port Melbourne Beach doing a bit of extra walking in the water, and they've all pulled up really well, which is good signs.
Well, Jolly's the one, I guess, with the biggest question mark hanging over him. What's wrong with him, and how's he going to be able to get up this week?
I'm not too sure what it is that's wrong with him. I didn't...
Well answered. That's all right.
I think it is a groin, and so hopefully he can pull through and make through for one more week.
Was he rating himself a chance today?
He always does. He always rates himself very highly for coming through injury, as he's done well over the last couple of years, and so he's given himself a very good chance of coming through.
Sharrod, can you tell our viewers what you do after a Friday night game? Because obviously, close and exciting and in the rooms, and we see shots of that, and we do a few interviews on radio, and then we all go home. What do you do?
Well, we head across straight over to the Westpac Centre. It's good having it right there across the road from the MCG, and we get in there and do a little bit of bike, a little bit of weights, just get the body moving and start recovery straight away. Get in the ice bars. We've got a pool there that we do a few laps in, and start ticking the body over, getting ready for the next week.
Sharrod, talk us through Friday night. It was one of the great finals that I think I can remember ever seeing. And I'll probably look at your side. Have you done a review of the game already, or we don't worry about it at finals time?
No, we'll do our review tomorrow morning. We'll have a look at the game.
To me, I think looking at the game, I think you'd probably go through about half a dozen players and think it's almost the most poor game, the poorest game that you've played for the year individually for some players, and yet you've been able to get through it. Did it feel like that for you? You had a lot of players as quiet as they've been for 12 months?
Yes, I don't know if that's the case as much as the whole side was probably just a bit off on Friday night, and even the ball probably didn't bounce our way a few times, and decisions and things like that didn't go our way, which is not always going to be the case in footy. But we will take a positive, like you said, from that, knowing that we weren't at 100% and we still managed to scrap out a victory, which is good signs.
Your form going into last year's grand final, compared team-wise, compared to this year, do you think there's a major difference in the way you're playing?
I don't think so. I think, last year with the preliminary final, we kind of really stabbed our authority in that game early and coasted through for the second half, so we knew we were going to win, whereas this game, like you said, we had to fight it out. But I think that's a positive in that we've gone in with two really good finals games, close contests with big bodies hitting, and so we know what we're up for.
Dane Swan.
Yeah.
You look at him, he's the most unfashionable player. We've talked about it many, many times. Looks like a bag of bones.
Is he the fittest player on your list?
Maybe not the fittest, but like you see, he can just sprint, and he's got he's got the pace to burn, and he's our most highly rotated player, I think, and so he'll get on there, do his damage, and burn off his opponent, which I think is why he's been so hard to tag over the last couple of years.
32 disposals. He had 14 in the first half, 18 in the second. In that second half, he also had 11 contested possessions, 6 clearances. He really rose when he needed to.
Well, to me, he just stood out in the last quarter as being able to power the length of the field when others couldn't, and he was really instrumental in getting his team over the line.
Certainly played a great second half. The coach, you've obviously, I'm not sure if you had a look at a replay or not, but very emotional after the game. What do you see? What do you think when you see that, and what was his message straight after the game?
Oh, I think that was just a lot of admiration for the team having got over the line for him, and he probably was thinking that it might have been his last time in the box up there in front of the team, so the emotions got the better of him, as I'm sure it has in the past. But he's got one more week, and he'll be looking very much forward to it. Did he
address you straight after? Was he able to speak to you?
Yeah, he was fine by the time he got down to the change room. So
He got it all out.
Yeah. Sharrod, at three-quarter time, you're down by 17 points, and a lot of us are sitting there at the game thinking you're in real strife. It's going to be hard to win. There's a bit of mail coming out that the coach said, just keep playing the way we play, and that Nick Maxwell grabbed the boys and said, hey, let's not die wondering here. We need to start attacking the corridor more than we have done in the past. Can you recall the captain saying that?
I think he said, let's have a real crack and not hold back, and we were kind of playing within ourselves, I think, for those first 3 quarters. I think I was most worried in the third quarter. I was speaking with the boys today. I think during the third quarter, start of the third quarter, was when we weren't quite switched on well enough, and they had a few easy entry 50s into the forward 50, and I think that was when I was a bit worried. But come the fourth quarter, when we started taking risks and playing the corridor a bit more, I got a bit more confidence in the side, and I knew that we were going to get over top.
Did you play the round 24 game against Geelong when they belted you?
certainly did. It wasn't too good a game to be out there.
What's your memory of that? Did you have a feeling going into the game that nothing really hinged on it, that it was just a run in the park?
Maybe subconsciously, I think the team might have had that view, but when we went out there and then we fell behind, and then we kind of knew at a certain point we weren't going to be able to get the points at that stage, but we knew that it wasn't going to make a difference, so we kind of put it in the back pocket.
Sharrod, give us an insight into what grand final week's going to be like for you now. I'm sure you've got friends that you didn't know you had that suddenly want grand final tickets, and relatives that tell us about managing that for a start. Everyone wants a ticket, and just how the whole week plays out for you.
Yeah, well, I think that's one of the experiences I will have from last year. Just can't really try to please everyone. You got to be a bit more ruthless. Do you get? We get 6 tickets from the AFL, which is very, very generous of them. So no, we're just going to have to be ruthless, I suppose, and kind of tell people that we don't have any spare ones.
So some of your family will miss out. We've got brothers or sisters that won't be able to go.
Yeah, well, I've got brothers and sisters who won't be able to go, but yeah, all the parents will be there.
You're very good friends with Buddy Franklin. How did you see his battle with Tarrant on Friday night?
It was very good. I thought Bud might have sealed it for them with that final freakish kick goal, wasn't it? And so, disappointing for the Hawks, but what can you do, really?
Because he's such a hard man to hold down.
He certainly is. I think Taz has done really well over him the last couple of years. Speaking with Buddy away from the club, he says that Chris is one of the hardest players he has to play on, just because he's got the pace to go with him and the strength, which is, Buddy's strength as well, being able to break away. And I think Buddy tried to get him up the ground a bit, but Taz was able to stay with him.
How much of a factor not having Mark Neild there when you come into the breaks at quarter time and before the game has worked with you so closely? Craig McRae stepped in. Was it weird?
No, it certainly wasn't. Craig did a great job. I think he stepped into the fold beautifully and took up the slack left by Nildy, and probably added a little bit, which I think was really good.
When you start thinking about visualising and seeing yourself playing in the grand final, do you give it a couple of more days, or does it just creep into your mind as you're driving the car, lying on the couch? Are you thinking of Selwood? Are you thinking of Bartel? Are you thinking of Cameron Ling?
No, not so much. I'm probably going to try and not think too much about it this early stage, but yeah, certainly later on in the week I'll start thinking about it probably every minute of every day.
When do you get told by the coaching staff what your role will be on grand final day?
Well, it's a Saturday game, so I'll probably, after Wednesday, I'll know what my role will be come game day, and then we'll get back in there on Friday and fine-tune it and know exactly what I need to do.
Sure, one of your roles will be around the stoppages and kicking goals. You've had a sensational knack of doing it and doing it consistently well, and I can recall one from the grand final last year that really sticks out in my mind, and again a couple of weeks ago. It's been a real good part of your game, hasn't it? You look dangerous every time there's a stoppage, and here's one from last year's grand final. To get through traffic and score, it's a great strength of yours.
Yeah, I think, I enjoy kicking a goal, as I think everybody does, and, with the great ruck work that we've got, and if I can get on the end of it, I'm very happy, and Mick is also very happy if we can get forward 50 goals. You've
been rolled by the Cats twice this year. How can you turn things around? Let's say round 24, boys, was a bit unusual given the fact that they had nothing to play for, but you got rolled.
The other one was only by 3 points.
Yeah, I think that we're going to probably look at the other game a bit more closely and look at how we went and matched up against them in that game, and probably try to emulate that, considering it was a very close game, and that's probably the game style that they're going to try and bring to the table on Saturday. And they had probably changed a fair bit over the last. When we played them in that prelim final, they've changed their game style a lot from then, so we're going to probably have to do something different.
Leon Davis played in grand finals, hasn't played well. Now he's got a change of role. Didn't play last year in the premiership team. It must be a dream come true for him, because I would have thought 12 months ago he would have been devastated, but it seems like he's handled it well, moved into the back line, became an All-Australian defender. It's a great story. I think it's a great story, and I think, going into last year's grand final, I'm not too sure if he had the greatest amount of confidence in himself in the grand final, and then I think that is a completely different story come this year with his role in the back line. I think he's got the utmost confidence in his role that he can execute it week in, week out, and I think he's set for a big one come Saturday. Handy bloke to chuck forward too, just in the time of need too. He got one, didn't he, on Friday? Goal. So it's a nice string to have to your bow, isn't it? Absolutely.
Are we going to see more run with roles in the grand final, Sharrod? You've done it a little bit in the past. I'm assuming Cameron Ling will try and get hold of someone, whether it's Pendlebury or Swan, or is it a lot harder now to do it with rotations?
it is a lot harder with rotations these days, but I think considering it is grand final and two really strong sides with, like I said, really strong midfields, I think we will see a fair bit of one-on-one contest going on.
Do I remember rightly that you were offered up as perhaps trade for the Luke Ball deal when it first came to the table?
I was a couple of years ago, and so I was quite happy to still be in Collingwood last year.
That didn't happen.
Certainly has.
You could have been a St Kilda premiership player.
He might have been the difference.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think so.
How did that sit with you, though? I mean, a lot of players, once they've been in that situation, say, all right, you put me on the table, I'm out of here. And, I think Campbell Brown's been in that boat. He said, I'm out of here as soon as my name was thrown up. Did it affect you badly?
No, it didn't affect me at all. I don't think it was really a indication from the club. I think it was more, I got on really well with Brad Scott, who had been in a development role down at Collingwood for a couple of years, and I think, I would have had a great relationship with him at North Melbourne, where I think that's where I would have ended up. Yeah. And so, I think that's the only reason that the trade got bought up, but hopefully it hasn't got anything to do with Collingwood.
Well, look, congratulations on getting through once again. It was a great game on Friday, and look, I think we all agree that it's only going to be a kick or so in it on Saturday, so all the very best.
Thank you very much.
In your quest to go back-to-back.
Thank you very much, guys.